Well, good morning, Saints. It's time for Good News at 9. How do we get better at something? Well, you know the answer to that. We get better at something by practicing. If you want to be a good free throw shooter, you shoot free throws. If you want to be a better hitter, you get in the batting cage and you take a lot of swings. If you want to be a better engineer, then you learn as much math as you can. If you want to be a good doctor, then you do whatever it takes in the practice of medicine to become a good doctor. But we practice. You get better at something through practice, through repetition, through training. Jesus is on the Mount of Transfiguration with Peter, James, and John, and after they descend the mountain, there's a commotion. A man has brought his son who needs healing. The disciples were unable to do so, and Jesus immediately heals the man's son. So the disciples say to Jesus, "Why couldn't we do that?" And Jesus says, "You've got to practice." He literally says this kind only comes out through prayer and fasting. But what are prayer and fasting? Prayer and fasting are simply tools, if you will, practices that believers in Jesus employ in their lives in order to learn how to better follow Jesus. So there are a number of things that we do. We read, we study, we meditate, but prayer and fasting are two of those things that we practice. So Jesus is saying is if we're going to live an effective Christian life, that there's certain things that we have to do, that we have to practice continually if our life for Him is going to be effective, particularly when interacting with other people. So don't get hung up so much on the physical healing part of what happened, but just listen to Jesus say that this kind of thing, the ability to live this kind of life with power, happens only as we practice the things that Jesus practiced. And we know that He practiced prayer and fasting. That's how He began His ministry. So we too should employ those things that will help us live a powerful life in Christ, so that when we interact with other people, we have something to give them that is beyond ourselves, beyond the natural. We are infused with the supernatural, and we are able to give them that. So, this week and in the weeks to come, practice prayer and fasting. You know what I say, get her done.